This is a house a man built for himself on a hillside in northern West Virginia in September of 1938. The photographer wrote a caption for it. Unemployed miner's home he built. And then she wrote down what he told her. It'll be purtier when I paint it. Her name was Marion Post Wolcott. She worked for the federal government, and she spent that September driving around this state. The other half is what she typed on the captions, because she did not write captions. She wrote field notes, and some of them run 400 words. This is the Farm Security Administration office at Elkins. The government rented half a house. The other half was a photographer's studio. Every frame in this episode is filed the same way. 1938 September. No day of the month on any of them. So the order of her month is gone. And this is not a route. It is a state in 30 days, arranged by place. Start north of Morgantown in a hollow called Scott's Run. Company houses on the hill above the coal washer. Her word for these rows is the patch. She always puts it in quotation marks, so it was their word, not hers. These were Union barracks, her caption says, thrown up in a hurry during a strike to house men who had been put out of the company houses. By 1938, people were simply living in them. Almost none of these houses had water in them. So water's a job somebody does. 3 of a miner's children, going down the hill with lard cans. Her caption for this one is 4 words long. There's not any water or electricity. Down in the southern coalfield at Welch, there were public bathhouses in the middle of town, because most miners' homes had no running water and it had to be carried a long way. This is the road to the company store and the school at Chaplin. It is the only one. Her caption: all these wires are alive, carrying from 250 to 530 volts. People and children are often knocked down, sometimes killed. Children playing on the tracks. Note live wires, she wrote. Payday at Osage. The miner's wife bringing the groceries home from the company store on the day the money came. Saturday at the store at Chaplin. Her caption sorts it for you. At left, miners shooting craps. At right, card gambling, a favorite pastime. And this is how a lot of families got the coal they burned. A miner's son on top of a loaded car. Her word for it is swiping. The company at Pursglove sold its men insurance. $5 a month. Her caption explains the terms. It covered accidents anywhere except in the mines. Most miners signed up for it. This man loaded coal by hand for 12 years. He and several others complained that conditions did not meet the federal standards. All of them lost their jobs. He was on relief work when she found him, at $38.25 a month. A few miles on there is a town called Jere, and the company had already gone. When it left, it cut off the water. It had been charging $1.20 a month for it. So the people who stayed built a box over the spring, put a lock on it, and formed what her caption calls the People's Water Company. 25 cents a month. It made money at that, even when not everyone could pay, and it paid dividends in flour, sugar, and lard. The lock had to be changed about every 4 months. The relief truck came with food. The shack on the right was the community house used for prayer meetings, union meetings, and water company meetings. These men were hand loaders until the mines mechanized. They live in one house together, and her caption says spend most of their time arguing about politics. They named the dog after Hitler because he was mean. A Sunday school picnic brought into the abandoned town by people from other parishes. And the man she calls the town philosopher. who fixed up his porch with a potato sack for an awning and kept a garden going on the hill. He told her, "So long as I see things moving and bettering, I don't care how much benefit I get from it. There is a hill above Scott's Run called Bertha Hill, and the people on it were brought to West Virginia on purpose." Her caption says Mexican and black miners were brought into Scott's Run around 1926 to break a strike. 12 years later, 3 mines in 4 would not hire them at all. This man carried his water about 2 miles uphill. Her caption says he did it the way he had learned to as a boy, his neighbor. Her caption records one fact about her. She doesn't speak English, and this is a visit. The woman on the right is Hungarian, and she is trying to start a clinic on the hill for mothers. The same caption that records the strike breaking also says the families were generally accepted on the run, and that there was a good deal of mixing and intermarrying. This boy doesn't go to school much. Her caption gives the reasons. He's too shy and the school is too far away, especially when it is cold. The school, her caption puts one word of its name in quotation marks, and the word is white. Now a photograph of a man who has come off the night shift and is listening to his radio in the morning. Her caption says he is Polish, and his wife is Hungarian. Then it says that people like them are generally thrifty, and that their houses are cleaner than the houses of their black neighbors, and cleaner than the houses of the people she calls, in quotation marks, Americans. That's a ranking. She typed it onto a federal caption sheet and sent it to Washington with the picture, and it is still attached to the picture today. She was in her 20s. I'm not going to walk past the sentence because the notes are the evidence in this episode, and that means all of them. In the same set, she writes that the miners are often not much taller than the children, because boys were sent underground young. Far to the south, in the other coal field, the shift lets out at Omar. 2 men walking home. Her caption adds 4 words. Many miners are lame. The men come up out of a shaft that drops 60 feet to a tunnel 2 miles long and hand in their lamps. Then they read the board. Chalked on it is a man's name in block capitals with a number beside it. The number is how many tons he loaded. The board also tells him whether there is work tomorrow. And bolted up beside the chalk is a company danger sign, telling parents to keep their children away from the tracks. This is a room in a miner's boarding house at Mohegan. Her caption counts what is in it. 1 woman and 6 children live in 1 room. 2 beds, no water, no heat. And this is a family on the county road with everything they own, waiting for somebody to help them move it. Her caption ends. No job. No home. Housing for black families at Capels on the hill up the steps above the town. And then there is Twin Branch, which is empty. Her caption is the longest she wrote that month. It says the town was once very nice, that it was owned by Ford, and that about 4 years earlier, when the men tried to organize it, Ford closed it down completely rather than have it unionized. Around 1,000 men had worked there. I could not confirm that account in a federal record, so take it as her note and not as a finding. What is certain is the state of the town in the frame. The church boarded up with the rest of it. East of there, she drove the road along the New River and photographed this from above. A concrete intake with a gate tower, and below it the river running thin over bare rock. Her caption names the place near Gauley Bridge and adds that it is famous for, in quotation marks, silicosis. 8 years before this, men had been sent into a tunnel here to divert that river through the mountain. The rock ran better than 99% silica. More than half the men who dug it were black men brought up from the South. The men's own count of the dead was more than 400. The contractor said 48. Congress held hearings in 1936, and nobody ever established the number. 2 years later, the word still needed quotation marks and in boxcars. At Charleston, the chemical plants were running and hiring, and families were living on the river in boats. This one had a husband on federal relief work. In the black section of Charleston, she photographed a privy and wrote down the arithmetic of it. Only one, for 60 people, in a bedroom where the children slept. Her caption, "Mother has TB. Father is on relief work." She did photograph one thing that month that was simply going well. Sugar cane pressed by a mule going in circles. The juice boiled down in a long vat into sorghum molasses. A neighbor came to watch. Her caption says he was badly wounded and gassed in the World War. And then she drove to Randolph County to photograph the answer. Tygart Valley homesteads. New houses, new road, 10 miles from Elkins. Her captions change here. Good roads and good land. Modern and convenient kitchen. Modern household equipment reduces household drudgery. The women had weekly group meetings in home economics. Here they are quilting. There was a community store and you could buy meat in it. The government printed a fact sheet about this place. It is 2 pages long and it answers the episode. Number of family units, 198. Number of applications received, 1,640. More than 8 families applied for every house that existed. And here is the purpose, in the government's own words: to demonstrate the possibilities of rehabilitating the families of stranded miners and lumber workers. Stranded. That is the federal word for everyone in the first 3 quarters of this film. In January of that year, the same agency had signed off on a factory for the homesteads, a government loan of $330,000, 40 years, at 3%. And it set the terms the plant had to work under: maximum hours of labor, minimum rates of pay, free collective bargaining, and the prohibition of child labor. 35 cents an hour, guaranteed by the Secretary of Agriculture, in a state where a man could be fired for saying the standards were not being met, and a town could be closed for trying to organize. Both of these places were photographed by the same woman in the same month for the same agency, and they are filed in the same drawer. 198 families got the kitchen. The rest of them got the hill. This is the last frame. Her caption says he has worked in the mine since he was 14. It does not give his name.